students. Hello everyone. I welcome you all for the next session. Now we are going to study with a different part of grammar. This is known as figure of speech. A figure of speech is used to have or to give a different effect or impact to what we are saying. As we say or speak normally, in the similar way we cannot speak while or express through the poems. So, to make it sound unique or sound different or more effective, we use figure of speech in our sentences. Now, what exactly is figure of speech? Let us see the definition. Now, where we use and why, what is the intention to use it? A figure of speech or rhetorical figure, that is a different style of writing, is an intentional deviation from ordinary languages chosen to produce a rhetorical effect. That is what I told you all, that to have a different impact on what we say or on the reader, we use this kind of speech. A figure of speech is a word or phrase that possesses a separate meaning from its literal definition. It can be a metaphor or a simile designed to make a comparison. It can be repetition of alliteration or the exaggeration of hyperbole to provide a dramatic effect. So these are the different figure of speech which are used to create different impact on the sentences and on the reader. It can be a word or a phrase used in a non-literal sense of rhetorical or vivid effect. So let us understand different types of figure of speech. There are many figure of speech, but we are going to understand the few of them because learning all together may create confusion. So in the first video, we are going to study the few figure of speeches. Okay, we are going to start with. There are 8 figure of speech which we will be studying in this video, that is simile, metaphor, onomatopoeia, hyperbole, personification, irony, repetition, alliteration. The words, the figure of speech are very easy to remember and they are very unique to understand also. Let us begin with the first figure of speech. Simile. A simile is a comparison between two unlike things using the words like or as. We also use so to compare the things. Now, when I am comparing two different things, there should be something which is similar. At least one similar thing should be there in both of them. Let us see the examples. As slippery as an eel. So, how is it? What is the thing? As slippery as an eel. So, we are comparing like peas in a pod. We are comparing somebody who looks like a peas or who is like a peas in a pod. As blind as a bat. So we are comparing the person by using as or like with different things. Eats like a pig. How does a person eat? He eats like a pig. So I am comparing his eating habits with pig and I am using like to compare these two things. So you can see here eat and like is compared. As wise as an owl. So I am saying the person is as wise as an owl. So as is used to compare the wiseness of a person with owl. Let us see the next. Metaphor. Now the difference. Now here you need to understand metaphor is also used to compare two different things. Again, which should have at least some common elements in both of them. But let us understand what is the difference. A metaphor makes a comparison between two unlike things or ideas. Now these are going to be unlike things. Here I am going to compare them without using as and like. Now see the example, heart of stone. So a person is having what kind of a heart? He is having a heart like a stone. Time is money. So I am comparing time with money. The world is a stage. So world is called as a stage. We use stages to show dramas. So it is compared that the complete whole world is like a stage. So here instead of using like or as, I am directly saying the world is a stage. She is a night owl. What does this mean? She is a night owl means she actually awakes a lot. She doesn't sleep early. So I'm comparing her with an owl. So she is a night owl. So I have not used here any kind of like, as or so in the sentence to compare. Lastly, he is an ogre. Next figure of speech, onomatopoeia. So many times it happens you hear certain sounds, isn't it? So those sounds are actually the words itself, the sound made by certain thing, that only is used as a figure of speech. Now onomatopoeia is a term of a word that sounds like that in describing. Like if you say hissing sound, how does a snake make sound? It hiss. So sound itself is used as a word to express. See the examples. Whoosh, this is also a sound. Splat, the sprinkling, or we can say pushing up the water. Buzz, buzzing of bees. Click, the moment you click something, whenever we use computer mouse, we click, the sound also comes like a click. So same thing is used as a onomatopoeia. Oink, another figure of speech. We are going to start with a new one, that is hyperbole. The people are habitual of saying something or they exaggerate certain things. So even when we say something, I want to compare it, I want to show it on a large level. So I exaggerate my sentences or I speak myself. So that sort of figure of speech is called as hyperbole. Hyperbole uses exaggeration for emphasis or effect. Now a simple example I would like to tell is, I want to say somebody is very thin. So if I am using hyperbole as a figure of speech to express that, I will say she is as thin as toothpick. So nobody can be so thin, but I am comparing. I want to say that the person is so thin that I can compare him, or I can say he is like a toothpick itself. So I use hyperbole to express that. Let us see few examples. I've told you to stop 1,000 times. So can we tell anybody 1,000 times stop, stop, stop? But no, but I want to say that I have warned you to stop immediately. So to tell the extent or emphasize more on the person to stop, I use these expressions. That must have cost $1 billion. So something which might be very expensive, and I want to express that whatever you might have purchased is very expensive. So I may say that might have cost you $1 billion. I could do this forever. Now suppose if I am watching a television and somebody says it's a favorite channel, yes, it's a favorite serial, yes, I can watch it forever, which is ideally not possible, but I say that sentence. She is older than dirt. So again there is a exaggeration of a sentence. Everybody knows that. Now many times it happens, we say sometimes everybody is aware about it. How you don't know? But sometimes it is not possible that all things are known to everyone. Let us see the next. Personification. Now this is very a beautiful figure of speech, I would like to say. Many times it happens, we talk to our toys, we talk to our pet, we talk to our girls normally talk to the dolls and all. So they personify those non-living things and as a living thing, and they chat with them, they talk with them as if they are human beings, or as if they can understand and they express themselves. So what is in personification? Personification gives human qualities to non-living things or ideas. Okay, so we are talking to a non-living thing as if they are alive. Let us see the examples. The flowers nodded. So beautiful expression it is. The flowers nodded as if they are moving their head. The snowflakes dance. So snowflakes are dancing. They are actually non-living things, but they are doing some action. The thunder grumbled. The fog crept in and the wind howled. So here all these things like flowers, snowflakes, thunder, fog and wind are actually non-living things, but in the expression we have shown as if they are doing certain actions and they are alive. So that is what is figure of speech. A personification is a figure of speech used to express this feeling. Now let us go to the next, that is irony. Irony is or occurs when there is a marked contrast between what is said and what is meant. or between appearance and reality. Like if you just remember your discussion with your friends or colleagues, and somebody is trying to tell you something and you say, I know you're smart, but actually we don't intend to say that, so we are saying it ironically. So that is what is a figure of speech, where I say what I don't mean actually. Now let us see the examples. How nice, she said when I told her I had to work all weekend. So here there is an how nice. Actually saying this is an irony. When somebody has to work at weekend, are we actually happy for that? Not at all. A traffic cop gets suspended for not paying his parking tickets. So situational irony. Traffic cop, he himself is supposed to deal with the things and he himself is suspended. So that is some ironical situation. The Titanic was said to be unsinkable but sank on its first voyage. So what do you say? It is supposed to say it is unsinkable, but in spite of that it sank into the water. So that is again an situational irony. Naming a tiny Chinchua Brutus, that is verbal irony. Tiny and Brutus, so these are all things which are ironical situation. When the audience knows the killer is hiding in a closet in a scary movie, but actors do not. So what has happened? When the audience are aware what is going on the stage, and they know where is the killer hiding, but the people who are acting in the drama, they don't know. So it's a bit odd to see, I know everything what is going on, and so that is again a dramatic irony situation. So let us see the next one. Repetition. So the word itself gives us an idea what exactly it will be. It is a repetition. That is actually some words, phrases will be repeated in a sentence. It's a very easy to recognize the repetition figure of speech in any sentences. Repetition is a literary device that repeats the same words or phrases a few times to make an idea clearer or more memorable. There are several types of repetition commonly used in both prose and poetry. So where we are, just remember one thing, that we are going to see that the words are repeated. If you think you can do it, you can do it. So here if you see, you can do it and you can do it is repeated twice. From forth, the fatal lines of these two foes. So here if you see, the first alphabet F is repeated continuously. So from forth, the fatal lines of these two foes. A pair of stars, crossed lovers take their life. A small living room, a small dining room, a small bedroom and a bath. So a small is repeated. All of one and one for all. All for one and one for all. So here again there is a repetition in a different pattern. Let us see the next one, alliteration. So here when we were studying about repetition, the words were repeated. So here the sound of the alphabet or a particular word will be repeated. Alphabet is repeated. Alliteration is the repetition of beginning sounds of neighboring word. So both the words nearby will be having repetition of a particular sound. So she sells, she sells. So if you see, the pronunciation of sh is more. She sells, she sells. So S is repeated here. Walter wondered where Winnie was. So WWW, all these words are repeated. W sound is repeated. Blueberry bonnets bobbed through the bayou. So here you can see blue b sound is repeated. Nick needed new notebook. So no is repeated. Fred fried frogs legs on Friday. So again you can cite F is repeated. So this is known as alliteration, where repetition of beginning sounds of the words are seen. So that is known as figure of speech alliteration. Now I thank you all for watching the video till end, and I am sure you liked it, and soon I will be sharing with the next group of figure of speech. Till then, take care. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you.